how you may be exempted from VAT on your electricity bills. A local home for the elderly, the target of social media. And the Cancer Society assisted by the Warrior Campaign.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shashina Roll-Farquharson. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, many Grand Bahama Power Company consumers set to benefit from the government's VAT exemption should their electricity bills qualify for the $300 and under a month threshold. Tonight, the Grand Bahama Power Company is weighing in on what this initiative means for consumers on this island. The government recently moved an amendment to allow for a temporary increase in the VAT-exempt ceiling from $200 a month to $300 a month through the end of the fiscal year for electricity consumers. Customer service representative at the Grand Bahama Power Company, Dominic Pinder, says a large majority of consumers on Grand Bahama will benefit from this new initiative.
A lot of customers have been crying out for support during these tough economic times that the island and the Bahamas is going through at large. And so we are complying with the request of the government of the Bahamas in their VAT threshold qualification for our residential customers. And so earlier this year, it was implemented that VAT went from 7.5% to 12%. However, customers that were $200 and under cycle bills would have been exempted or VAT exempt on their bills. And so we went through that change earlier in the summer months, and now the government has made another decision where customers, the threshold will now be increased from $200 to $300 and under.
She says a whopping 90% of residential consumers will be impacted by this VAT exemption on Grand Bahama if their bills are $300 or less. Pinder explains when consumers can expect to see this reflected in their bill.
The government of the Bahamas would have implemented this for November, so we would have had little time to prepare for the December bills. However, we were able to bring our IT team together and our billings team, and with the help of external programmers, we were able to change the requirements in our billing system to accommodate the customers that have now moved from $200 threshold to the $300 threshold. We're excited about that. It takes effect in the December bill, so it's November usage that is billed into December, and it's going to carry them into June, which means that customers will still see that VAT exemption, $300 and under, in their July bills.
And she says it was no easy task to prepare for this new exemption, given the time frame this announcement was made to when it will be implemented. Nonetheless, she says the power company is pleased that this exemption will help many on Grand Bahama.
So we had a lot of testing, and we did changes to our programming and our billing system. And then internally, we had to test and vet the system to ensure that when we send out the bills for December, that they were accurate and they were correct. And so our internal team was successful in checking and changing and vetting the process, and we are happy to advise that Grand Bahama Power Company was able to successfully open up our billing cycles for the month of December, and so far everything has been working perfectly fine.
In news from the tourism sector, the government is highlighting improvements within the tourism sector on Grand Bahama during the year 2018. According to the Central Bank of the Bahamas' latest monthly economic and financial developments, tourism stopover visitors showed an overall increase of 7.4%. The report showed improvements in Grand Bahama year to date, recovering from the huge decrease of 39.5% in 2017. The report indicated that in Grand Bahama, despite the ongoing challenges in room capacity after the closure of several hotels due to hurricane damage, stopover visitors to Grand Bahama firmed by 3.5% on a year-to-date basis, a reversal from the prior period's 39.5% plunge. Now, the Central Bank report also showed a significant increase in online vacation rental bookings from AirDNA. In fact, Grand Bahama showed a 44.2% increase increase, which reflected the largest increase in the country. An analysis of the major markets revealed that bookings in Grand Bahama firmed by some 44.2% amid gains in both the entire home and hotel comparable listings. Now, the Ministry of Tourism will continue its online marketing and rebranding of Grand Bahama. In addition, they are continuing to work with advertising agencies and promoting the Grand Lucayan Resort to generate additional room occupancy in partnership with Bahamas Air, American Airlines, Balearia Caribbean, and Bahamas Paradise Cruise Line through summer 2019. In other news, a home that provides shelter for the less fortunate and the elderly, the target of a vicious social media attack. A video went viral this past weekend claiming that the home was the scene of a crime. Tonight, the operator is clearing the air and is calling for greater sensitivity from members of the public. Romiko Knowles has more.
The home away from home houses some 30 persons and provides over 100 meals per day to its residents and others. Caretaker Murphy Knowles says on Friday, shortly after 4 p.m., officers visited the home to speak to a resident. Sometime later, she was told that persons driving past the home had recorded a video of the officers' vehicles parked in the yard and stated that there had been a drug bust. Knowles says the video made her feel terrible.
It really made me feel really bad. My name is Murphy Knowles, and when this situation happened, it really made me feel, so terrible, because I'm here trying. We do over 100 meals a day here at Home Away from Home, and I'm out there trying to raise funds and trying to get persons to come and see the vision that the Lord has given me to take care of unfortunate ones that here at the nursing home, and to make sure that things is straight here, that we have some sense of living and direction in our life. And
Knowles has given out several letters to several businesses on the island seeking sponsorship for the home, and feels as though the video spreading the false information may prevent that from happening. Nevertheless, she says her doors are always opened.
We are here for everybody that knocks on our door. You know, a lot of people say, Miss Knowles, why you take them in? I say, God say, don't close the barrel of compassion towards anybody, because it could end up to be one of us that knock on somebody's door and want somebody to take us in and to care for us. So that's where I'm at. Sometimes I want to say no, but the love that he placed in me, that it's hard for me to say no.
Rosetta Forbes has been a resident of the home for the past 3 years. She says the video made her devastated.
It's me who call her and tell her about it, because I was definitely, I didn't like it. You know, because it's trying to spoil her reputation and others who are near.
Forbes adds that during her time at the home, caretaker Murphy Knowles has become like family.
Who do that? All they say, they just don't have no heart. They try to take bread with somebody else's mouth. But like she said, what they sow, they should reap.
Romiko Knowles, ZNS Network News.
In news from the crime beat, police in Abaco are investigating a shooting incident in the area of South Side Road in Marsh Harbor. Reports say 3 armed men opened fire on a group of persons on the outside of a business establishment yesterday and then fled the area on foot. One man sustained injuries to the leg and was taken to the local clinic where he was treated and discharged. Investigations are continuing. And in news from the court, Bahamian James Paul Jacques, age 40, appearing before Magistrate Charlton Smith this week on the charge of harboring an illegal person contrary to the Immigration Act. The particulars are that on Wednesday, December 5th, Jacques knowingly or recklessly or without reasonable cause provided housing, board, and shelter to Jamaican national 58-year-old Cecil Reed. Jacques, represented by attorney Carlton Sherland, pled guilty and was convicted in order to pay a fine of $4,000 or serve a default sentence of 1 year in prison. Meanwhile, Jamaican national Cecil Reed, also appearing in court and charged with illegal landing. He pled guilty and was ordered to pay a fine of $300 or in default serve 2 months in prison. Both Jacques and Reed were able to pay their court-imposed fines, and Reed was flown to the detention center in New Providence to await repatriation to Jamaica. And you're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Stay with us. There's more news right after this break.